Have you ever looked at your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? You worked hard, you earned your salary, maybe you even received a bonus. But somehow, by the end of the month, you're starting over again. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't become poor because they earn too little. They stay poor because they spend without a strategy. The richest people in the world don't just make different amounts of money, they make different decisions with the money they already have. In this video, you'll discover 7 spending habits that quietly keep millions of people broke, and more. Importantly, you'll learn what financially successful people do instead. If you're serious about building wealth, this video could change the way you look at every dollar you spend. Let's begin. Habit 1. Poor people reward themselves. First, rich people reward their future. Imagine it's payday. Most people celebrate immediately. They order expensive food, buy new clothes, upgrade their phone, or spend money because they deserve it. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. The problem is rewarding yourself before securing your future. Financially successful people celebrate differently. The first transaction they make isn't shopping, it's saving or investing. They treat savings like a non-negotiable bill. Even if it's only 10%, they pay their future before paying their lifestyle. Think about it this way. If you had 2 children, would you feed one and completely ignore the other? Probably not. Your present self deserves comfort, but your future self deserves security. Every payday is an opportunity to choose which version of yourself wins. Habit 2. Poor people chase discounts. Rich people chase opportunities. Have you ever bought something simply because it was 50% off? Retail stores understand psychology. They don't always make people buy what they need. They make people fear missing out. Poor spending sounds like this. It was too cheap to ignore. Rich spending sounds like this. I wasn't planning to buy it, so I saved 100%. That's a completely different mindset. A discount doesn't create value. It only reduces the price. If you never needed the item in the first place, you didn't save money. You spent money. Rich people don't ask, how much did I save? They ask, did this purchase improve my financial position? Sometimes the smartest purchase is walking away. Habit 3. Poor people finance liabilities. Rich people finance growth. Many people borrow money to buy things that immediately lose value. Luxury phones, designer clothing, expensive furniture, high-interest consumer debt. The monthly payment looks small, but over time, interest quietly steals your income. Wealthy-minded people are much more willing to borrow for things that increase earning potential. Business equipment, education, income-producing assets. Tools that generate revenue. Notice the difference. One creates payments, the other creates possibilities. Before borrowing money, ask yourself one powerful question. Will this debt make me richer or poorer 5 years from now? That single question can save you thousands of dollars. Habit 4. Poor people ignore small expenses. Rich people respect every dollar. People often say, it's only $5. But here's the problem. $5 repeated every day becomes over $150 a month. Now multiply that over a year. Small leaks become massive financial holes. Successful people don't become wealthy because they're obsessed with pennies. They become wealthy because they understand consistency. Imagine carrying a bucket filled with water. One tiny hole seems harmless. Eventually, the bucket becomes empty. Money behaves exactly the same way. Daily coffees, unused subscriptions, random online purchases, delivery fees. Individually, they're small. Together, they can delay your financial goals by years. Respecting every dollar doesn't make you stingy. It makes you intentional. Habit 5. Poor people buy things to escape stress. Rich people solve the stress. Life is difficult. When people feel anxious, lonely, or frustrated, spending often becomes emotional therapy. It's called emotional spending. You feel bad. You shop. You feel excited for a few minutes. Then the excitement disappears and the bill remains. Rich people handle stress differently. Instead of escaping problems with purchases, they solve the problems creating the stress. If work is stressful, they improve skills. If income is low, they build another income stream. If debt is overwhelming, they create a repayment plan. Money should solve problems. It shouldn't become another problem. The next time you feel like buying something unexpectedly, pause and ask, am I buying this because I need it or because I'm emotional? That question alone can transform your spending habits. Habit 6. Poor people think monthly. Rich people think decades. Most people think about surviving until the end of the month. Wealthy people think about where they'll be in 10 or 20 years. That's why they invest. That's why they build businesses. That's why they buy assets. Every dollar has a job. Imagine planting one seed. You won't eat fruit tomorrow. But years later, that tree feeds generations. Investing works the same way. Your savings today aren't just money. They're future freedom. They're future opportunities. They're future choices. When you think long-term, short-term temptations lose their power. The richest financial decision isn't always the most exciting one. It's often the most patient one. Habit 7. Poor people spend to look successful. Rich people spend to become successful. This is perhaps the biggest difference of all. Social media has convinced many people that success must be visible. Luxury cars, expensive vacations, designer brands, perfect lifestyles. But real wealth is often invisible. The business owner driving an older car may own millions in assets. The person wearing simple clothes may have investments quietly growing every month. Wealth whispers. Debt shouts. Don't confuse appearance with achievement. Financial freedom isn't about impressing strangers. It's about creating choices. The choice to leave a job. The choice to travel. The choice to support your family. The choice to live without constant financial fear. That's what money is truly for. A true wealth mindset. Let's compare two people earning exactly the same salary. Person 1. Spends first. Saves whatever remains. Shops emotionally. Borrows for luxury. Thinks about this weekend. Person 2. Saves immediately. Tracks every expense. Invests in skills. Buys income-producing assets. Thinks about the next 10 years. 5 years later, they won't have the same life. Not because one was luckier, because one built habits while the other built expenses. Success isn't created by one giant financial decision. It's created by thousands of ordinary decisions repeated consistently. The 21-day challenge. For the next 21 days, I challenge you to change your spending habits. Before buying anything, ask these 3 questions. Do I truly need this? Will this help me earn more money? Will my future self thank me for buying it? If the answer is no, wait 24 hours before making the purchase. You'll be surprised how many things you no longer want. Small discipline today creates enormous freedom tomorrow. Remember this powerful sentence. Poor habits make expensive lifestyles. Rich habits create lasting wealth. You don't need to earn $1 million to start thinking like a millionaire. You simply need to make better decisions with the money already passing through your hands. Start today. Protect your income. Invest in your future. And let your spending habits become the reason your family changes its financial story forever. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.